Streaming. Okay, I'm a little late. Wow. Good morning. I'm feeling quite silly this morning, and I gotta turn that down. Just about there, and then I'm gonna move over to that spot right there. See you in a second. Whoosh. Fuck. Shit. I touched the cable. God damn it. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, shit. Okay. All right. Oh. Uh-oh. That's stuck. Oh, no. Hi, Batuhan. Okay. All right. And let's not get that stuck on here. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Okay. All right. Okay, that's falling over. Oh, okay, dokie. Okay. Cool. Cool. This is exactly working as intended. Exactly working as intended. Nothing wrong here. Hello, humans. And the framing is odd. I don't like the framing. Hold on. It's got to be more this way, right? Yep, more this way and more up a ways. Yep. Oh my gosh. It's mostly mildly semi-acceptable now. Fuck. And then this thing is in the way, so I got to flip it up over here. Yeah. And then it stays out of the... Oh, shit. It stays mostly out of the way-ish. Kinda. Holy mascarpone. That's a fun type of cheese. What's up, folks? There should be a... Oh, I didn't post the poll, so I have to do all this stupid shit again. Fuck. God. Shit. Fucking damn it. Fuck. Tits. The day. Oh. Quests. Where's my wireless future? Yeah, right? Ugh. The answer is it's shitty. The answer is the wireless future is shitty. Now, it could be much better if I were willing to just not have headphones on and to just ignore self-monitoring, which is a reasonable thing to do because, like, who needs it anyway? Also, fuck. I guess this should be over here because of the placement of the lighting, because otherwise it gets in the way. So I'll put the microphone there. And see, now that I've moved the microphone, I actually need to self-monitor so that I can tell where my voice is, because my voice isn't there. And also, I guess I should, because I'm far away from it, I should turn on the compressor. Hold on. Let me turn on the compression so that there's actually sound volume. Okay. Okay. That should bump the volume quality up quite a bit. So you should be able to hear me quite clearly now, even if the microphone isn't precisely placed perfectly. But I think the microphone is placed pretty close to perfectly, so we're okay on that front. And then I'm probably going to use my old phone in the future for this purpose, so that I've got multiple phones running, or multiple screens, because I realized part of the process here is like, man, I've got all this tech sitting around that I'm not using, and I should probably be using it. Even if it's just for like secondary angles on the camera for funsies and stuff, I should be doing that. But I've got an old perfectly viable smartphone that I should be utilizing. Feet. Yeah, yep, my feet are on screen and you can even see my tattoos. So, or my tattoo, the Uno, the 1-0. Whatever. I don't really care at this point. Frankly, all of my data is going to be stolen by the great digital AI deity in the sky anyway, so privacy. What the fuck is that about? Privacy seems like just an excuse when you want to be dishonest about yourself. And at the moment, I don't think I have anything to be dishonest about. Don't have anything to hide, don't have anything to lie. Don't have any reason to do anything. More like tattoo. Hey, got him. Oh, right. Okay, so what I was going to do is I was going to pull up the chat so that I have the chat on my phone so that I can see you guys on my phone so it's not on my computer screen. The alternative would be to get a third computer screen and place it over here, and then make sure that I did just buy a perfectly beautiful wired mouse and or wired keyboard, so that would be fucking stupid if I realized that I need a wireless keyboard. But I also have another keyboard, so I might just put that on a USB extender and get that closer out here. And of course, at any point, I can grab my mouse. Or I could use like Android mirroring to mirror my PC or something and control the PC via the phone maybe on my secondary phone or something like that. Either way, I want to stream via the computer, but I want to make use of some of the extra tech that I have sitting around, which is to say, I've got 2 webcams along with my cam link and my DSLR. I've got the microphone. I've got a second microphone, but I don't have a second input for it. I would need like a 2i2 or a better audio interface in order to do 2 microphones, which is something to think about and consider in the future. Although I guess I could use the Rode mic, because I do have those wireless mics. I'll think about that for the future. It might be less unwieldy than moving around the Shure everywhere, but the Shure is such a good mic that there's no reason to mess with that. Foot Tat says, person whose name I can't read from. I'm actually about 8 feet away from my computer screen, and I'm reading small text, and I can read it, which is quite fantastic. It's one of the incredible boons of having excellent eyesight, is that I can actually sit here and I can read what you're writing from 6+ feet away. Fantastic. But let me pull up I should be able to do this if I do Studio and I switch Studio to the other account. Come on. Okay, so not through Studio, but through YouTube app itself. YouTube app itself. T talks too much. Yeah. Brew 31 quest success. And if I click go live, no, so that puts me that way. So what I want to do is just go into quest success and keep the volume off. And then I can see mod rhubarb, foot tat. That is correct. This is a foot tattoo. It is of a teepee. I don't know if you can actually effectively see it. It is of a teepee pointed away from me, or you might say pointed toward the center of my foot and forward. This is one of the forces that drives me forward with every step that I take, and it is the force that is individualism and the desire to be alone, which is a core and immense portion of who I am and where I come from, as well as being a symbolic representation of my father, which is an interesting one. You know, when you've got a symbol of a person on yourself because they're that important to you, and you haven't even you don't have that person in your life because of circumstance and conflict. It's a sad and difficult place to be, but it is the place that I'm in, and I have no regrets about having this tattoo on my foot. And in fact, as I've mentioned before, I'm looking toward and forward to embedding some ink in the left foot as well to give it a matching triangle of sorts. And that will have a very different symbol on it, but still a triangular one, still one that leads forward, because feet go forward. Feet step forward. Always another step, always the next step. But foot tat, yes, correct. That is correct. Do you have any other tats? Nope, just the one on my foot. And to be clear, this is stick and poke. So, yes, and people are, whenever I show people who know tattoos that this is stick and poke, they go, oh shit, those are some dark lines, dude. You stabbed yourself a bunch. And I go, yes, yeah, I stabbed myself a bunch. And usually that garners a slight bit of respect from people who are like all tatted up, because they're like, okay, yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, on the top of your foot. Okie doke. All right, man. Yeah, you're out of your fucking gourd. And it's one of those situations where you get to look somebody else in the eye and go, oh yeah, no, I'm a little fucking crazy. I did this when I was 17, which was the same age that my father left his home and wandered out into the woods. And that's why I did it at the time that I did it, when I did it. Because I was living alone, very alone, and experimenting down very different pathways when I decided to put this on me. But the second one the one that will go on the left foot. That will be something interesting. Feet tats are painful in the first place. That is correct. Feet tats are. See, I'm still reading it from my damn computer screen all the way over there instead of having the wherewithal to read it on the screen that's right here. Kit says feet tats are painful in the first place, and Kit is absolutely right. Although I don't have much of a place of comparison. I have like poked myself with needles in various places, and besides like the palm of the hand or the tips of the fingers, I haven't found many places that are more painful than the foot. The top of the foot is not so bad. The bottom of the foot I would not be able to do, I don't think. Which, now that I think of it, makes me want to consider tattooing the bottoms of my feet, because it's really hard. It's really hard. I knew a guy who has 26 piercings. He did all but one himself. Only one he didn't do solo was a Prince Albert, and for good reason. Holy shit. Afterwards, he went home and gave himself another one. Who needs 2 Prince Albert piercings? For those that don't know, the Prince Albert is the hooked, piercing straight through the tip of the dick. The tip of the dick, the frenulum. And actually, I think a full Prince Albert goes through into the urethra, which is like, it actually squicks me pretty hard. It definitely gives me the woobity woobs. Hi, Jav Gamer. We're just talking about penis piercings. You know, a casual morning. Welcome. Talk to us about all the piercings you have, please. No, we're talking about body mod, which is odd and interesting. I'm actually going to pull us away from that and mention what I did yesterday, because I had a really fun day yesterday. I asked my friend a couple days before about whether he'd ever been to dim sum, and dim sum is like a Chinese luncheon brunchin thing. It's sort of like thinking of it as a brunch is not a bad idea, but there's a place not that far away from us that does it, and that I used to go to when I was quite young. And a way to think about it is like a luncheon or a buffet, but instead of you going up to the buffet table and gathering the foods that you want, a bunch of very, very nice, very low English speaking ladies go and they push carts around, and those carts have like a bunch of different steamed things, or a bunch of different fried things, or a bunch of different other things, and they push carts around, and they stop at your table and they go, well, you want any of this shit? And you point at the things that you want, and you go like, I want some of those, and I want some of those, and they drop them off at your table and make some scratchy letter markings on a piece of paper, and that's how they keep track of what you've taken and eaten, and you end up with tubs and tubs of dumplings and fried little shrimp coated things, and little egg custard cakes and tart things, and chicken feet and spare ribs, and all sorts of bao and different buns, and all sorts of different beautiful things, you know? Hold on, I got some comments coming in. You talking about feet tattoos made me think. Didn't need to know that information. Look, Jav, I got nothing to say, man. You came in, you asked. You wanted to know what we were talking about, and that was it. You talking about the feet tattoos made me think of the Stormlight quote for some reason. The most important step a man can take. It's not the first one, is it? It's the next one. Always the next. That was intentional, Victor. That was quite intentional. Me talking about the things that drive me forward being a part of my feet is not, it's not unintentional that Stormlight is woven into that. Although that's something that I found after I did the tattoo, because I had not read the archive. I think I hadn't read any Sanderson at the time that I wrote this, or that I put this on my foot. I was in sci-fi land. I was reading a lot of Heinlein. I read through all of Dune, all of it. Up until Brian started taking over, and then Dune becomes very different, and it's not worth it. Just watched Sanderson's update on Stormlight 5, so I guess I have it on the brain. Yeah, I didn't see the update, and I don't normally pay attention to such things. I also haven't read Rhythm yet, and the reason for that is because graphic audio, which is at the moment my preferred mode of consumption of Stormlight archives, they do audiobooks, but with acting. It's audiobooks with acting. Instead of just one guy being the thing, it's a cast member thing, and it's really cool, and there's music and stuff, and I really like them. They're simpler and easier to digest, I think, than physically reading the book, and so be it. But graphic audio, I think they really fucked up Rhythm of War. I think they really fucked it up. the direction on the audiobook is completely different. The sound design and the entire soundscape, which is to say all of the songs that they use, all of the theme songs and musical cues and everything is all completely different, completely changed, and almost all of the voice actors are swapped and switched in a way that makes them, in almost every circumstance, worse. So I have an issue with that. It just makes it hard. It's about 20% along with the first draft of 5, by the way, which is neat. I believe it, and I love it. We'll see, man. He's got a lot to work on. The man has, well, he's generated one of the most complicated, multifaceted universes in existence, and Stormlight is his real sort of front of house sort of thing. It's the forefront of his telling of that story, of the Hoid story, of the whole Shard story. And man, it's got to be a really complicated and terrifying thing to do, is to try to wrap that kind of a tale. You know that's what's happening with Rothfuss, right? Like Rothfuss and Kingkiller, Name of the Wind, Kvothe, Kvothe the Raven, literally, is so hilariously excellent as a piece of story. It's so excellent, and there's like, why hasn't Rothfuss finished it? Why hasn't Rothfuss done book 3? And the answer is because it's impossible. It's because it's almost impossible to finish a story like that in an effective way. And that's something that I was thinking about in anime terms. There are so many shows that start off proper, and then they sort of fizzle, or they go on forever. And the going on forever is a type of fizzling, too. Like, the ability to wrap a story is, well, stories don't wrap. Really. The life story that you're living doesn't really wrap, and the answers that you keep coming to don't really finish. And so there's this damn shame to come to the end of a story, and it requires a certain degree of care and planning from the outset, and wherewithal and desire to see something through to the end, to really bring a story to its conclusion, to bring a quest, you might say, to its success, and to end it, right? To go out into the world and to tell a story in completitude or in completion. It takes a certain amount of wherewithal. It's really hard to do. And we see it a lot in anime series where all the ideas are present and wet flashbacks. I was literally about to bring up Wonder Egg Priority, man. It's such a perfect example, Jav Gamer. It's such a perfect example because it starts off so strong, full of so many really solid ideas and directed storylines that are going in proper directions, and it fizzles, man. It fizzles into every possible direction because, as far as I can tell, they didn't know what story they were trying to tell, and that's really unfortunate. But then there's something that gives me hope, which is there are a couple of directors and a couple of people who know how to wrap stories effectively. And unfortunately, really unfortunately, most of them that I know of are directing other people's stories. I spent last night watching through, and I might upload it somewhere, I'm not sure. Let me know if you'd be interested in me uploading it. I'll just mention that I did this and I have it recorded. I recorded through a reaction discussion of the first 5 episodes of High School of the Dead last night. Just for fun. You can just call me Jav, BTW. I made this name when I was like 10 before I learned about what JAV stands for in the apparent common vernacular, and now it's too late to change it. I don't think it's too late to change it. I think you can actually change your name on YouTube. I'm actually pretty sure that you're allowed to do it. But anyway. All I know about Heinlein is the OSP video on Stranger in a Strange Land. Most of what I remember about it is it turning into a sex cult thing in the second half. To call it a sex cult is a little bit off, but I could see how the framing would look that way. I don't think that's the idea that Heinlein is trying to really present exactly. What I would actually call it more like a polycule or a polyamorous circumstance. The sex isn't the center of the cult. The connectedness and interconnectedness is the center of the way of being that the Martian produces. The idea in Heinlein's Stranger in a Strange Land is that there's this boy who is raised by a totally loving Martian society, and they're basically identical to humans in every way, but they bring him over and pop him into he ends up on Earth, and he ends up walking around on Earth and figuring out that everything's fucked basically. You get this alien character who's all about love and connection, walking around Earth recognizing that everybody's fucked up. Grokking is the concept. The big concept in Stranger in a Strange Land that I take away from it, and that most people have taken away from it, and that has actually made its way into the common parlance, is the idea of grok, G-R-O-K. And grok is to grok something is to know it in fullness. Now, that's literally the phrasing, is to know in fullness. And we might phrase that as like to understand completely, but that isn't it. To know in fullness, to grok something, you have to break yourself down and become the thing, and then and become completely open to it, and to understand it in your fullness, in its fullness. And so a part of the main character's grokking, the main part of the main character's grokking, or one part of it, is that he wants to know humans. And to know a human in fullness, well, this is an idea that we figured out in the deep, long past biblical sense. To know a human in fullness is to know their nudity, and to know their sexuality, and to know their physicality. To know in fullness is to know biblically, and to know biblically is to fuck. Like, actually and literally. When someone says biblical knowledge, that means sex. It says all throughout it says all throughout the Bible, he took her as his wife and he knew her, as the phrasing. And the meaning is like knew her top to bottom, bottom to top, upside down and backwards and inside out, And that's grok. That's the same idea. And so as a foundation, empathy is the center of the main character in Stranger in a Strange Land's sort of cult ideal thing. Sexuality is definitely present in it, and that's because they must come to be vulnerable and know each other. And they do sort of Heinlein ideates this sort of Christianized rebirth baptismal sequence that is sexual and vulnerability inducing in its nature. So that's part of it. So you're correct, but it's complicated as an idea, I think. And I don't know. I think it's cool. I know it isn't the same, but it just reminds me of Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy. Totally. There are definitely elements of that present. And Stranger in a Strange Land is like, it's some deep sauce. I should probably read it again. I've seen High School of the Dead in the past, and I know you've seen it already before, but I'd never turned down more reactions regardless. Cool. I mean, it's less a reaction because I stopped it all the way through and I talked it all the way through, and it was it is that way. I may go through it and edit it up. We'll see. I do want to record something today. I'm not sure what. I've done a poor job again of planning out my Mondays because I don't know exactly what to put on Monday. That's a bit of an issue, but it's one that I can solve for sure. Last week I was sort of too focused on Tuesday to really think about Monday because I really was focused on the Poon Poon reaction. And that was a hell of a journey. Anyway, the quest success that I talked about was I went on an excursion with some friends, and we went and we checked out this dim sum place, this Chinese restaurant where I had been before. And there were a couple of funny interactions and funny things, but getting there and doing it and having some cool and unique Chinese food with some friends was fantastic and had a lot of fun. And then we went from there to this enormous marketplace called the Galleria that's right near me, and it's like a mega supermarket the size of like a Costco or a Sam's Club, or if you have a big box warehouse supermarket near you, it's that size, but it's all high end feeling, and it's a Korean supermarket that's not that far away from me. And so there's a full wall of fresh kimchi, like a full wall of it, and the meat and produce sections are exceptional, and a lot of it is imported and really high quality. And what's crazy is that because we live close to a cultural center, the import cost and the overall prices of the things are not prohibitive, and so you can go in and you can buy stuff imported from across the pond for legitimately available prices. My roommate got some dried squid and I got some pure red, like organic red miso paste. Fuck, man, I'm so amazed by miso. I actually literally took miso and I spread a thin layer of it on toast with a bit of olive oil, and I was going to use salt and I didn't need it because the miso has enough salt in it. A little bit of olive oil and some fresh black pepper. Better than any butter or spread or cream cheese or olive oil and salt or anything else that I've ever had on toast. So much fucking flavor. So much incredible. Like a really thin layer, like Marmite thin, right? And it's the same, or Vegemite thin. And it's the same idea, you know. There's that yeastiness or that living culture sort of taste that is so complicated and so proteinaceous and so fulfilled of good with good things. Are you a soy sauce kind of person? I don't mind soy sauce. Um, I don't mind soy sauce. I like soy sauce all the time, but miso as miso paste is different. It's like it's the live fermentation. It's not just the scooped off salt product. It's just really different. And I haven't had good pure miso that I could just experiment with as a food product and like put on crackers and shit. Because that's what's amazing to me about it is like, oh man, just a little dip of a little like a pea-sized bit of miso, half a pea-sized bit of miso is enough flavor for everything. Udon made in shiitake base is amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Personally, you could put soy sauce on a dog turd and I'd eat it. I don't think there's a single isekai or cooking anime that doesn't obsess over soy sauce. Yeah, shoya, man. So soy sauce is a foundation of Japanese cooking, and for good reason. So what I'll say is that something that I'm kind of becoming obsessed with fermentation. I'm kind of becoming obsessed with fermented foods, and the reason is because I've been watching and listening to a few people from different sides of different food spectrums and fitness areas who are all coming sort of, you know how there's a zeitgeist of thought and people come to the same ideas at the same time sometimes? Well, a lot of people are coming to the same ideas about microbiome and microbiota in your gut and how they affect you. And there are a few things that I heard that are, as far as I can tell, validatable and scientifically backed and true and really important. So one of them is this: if your gut isn't happy, you can't be happy. And what I mean by that is there's a system, there's a set of linkages between the microbacteria, the bacteria and microorganisms inside your belly, and they literally signal your intestines to signal your brain directly, subconsciously, to make you content. And they have to be content and living effectively in order to make that happen. Fermentation. We make our own alcohol here, and damn, does it smell the house out when made. Okay, to be clear, I'm not really talking about alcohol fermentation, although that's a part of it. Alcohol is one thing. I'm talking about fermented foods. So, sauerkraut, kombucha, kimchi, miso, tempeh, other forms of fermented soy, other forms of fermented rice, other forms of fermented beverage products. You can come up with kvass, kefir, yogurt, cheeses, fermented foods. You know, like things that have living cultures in them that you should put in your face. And what I mean by when I say should put in your face, I mean if you're not putting enough fermented things in your face, you're gonna be miserable, and you actually don't have any control over this, which is fantastic. Any fermented tea, kombucha. That's what kombucha is, dude. Fermented tea is kombucha. In fact, speaking of which, I have to go pour my tea. Give me a sec. And then I'm going to go grab a kombucha. Hello. This. This isn't quite the... So, I'll just mention, last time I did tea, I made a mocha mint matcha mate macadamia latte, and it was fucking sick. So that consisted of um, some cacao nibs, which I just have for mixing into my oatmeal, some cacao nibs for the mocha, mint. I've got Moroccan mint green tea for the mint flavor, and a bit of extra green tea. Matcha because I put a little bit of matcha powder into it. Mate because the base of the tea is yerba mate, like leaves and plant material. Macadamia because I used macadamia milk for it, and a latte because it had milk in it, and it just sounded really good when I said mocha, mint, matcha, mate, macadamia mate latte. It was just like, wow, that sounds really great. Feels like the cameras are switching around. Weird seeing you exit on left and appear to the right. Well, yeah, but that's actually where it is. Actually, where I am in relation to. Yes, I could flip the other camera, but I suppose what I could do is put this here. Then I would have to actually put this here, right? And then I can walk sort of between them. Hello, 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 and see that's more like it. Hello, but But that's fucking stupid. What I will say is that having multiple cameras allows me to do a bunch of fun stuff, and I'm gonna experiment with a bunch of it because it'll be really cool. And I've got all these cameras that I can use. I've got 3 cameras, and then I've got 2 phones, which means I can do fucking anything. The world is my oyster. Anyway, I'm gonna go grab my tea is brewing. I'm gonna go grab something to sip on while it brews. Peace. Hold on. Hold on. Pants in here. Hi. Not a particular pair of pants. There. These. Into them. Turn. Ready, turn. The prodigal son is reborn. Oh yeah. I return home, father. Papa, papa. I kid. Hi, hello. I'm gonna sit back a little bit, move the mic back here a little bit. Yep, just like so. Got slightly lighter pants on. I was wearing my heaviest sweats, and I was starting to get sweaty, which is a good thing. It means I'm trying to really manage my body temperature in the morning, which is to say, getting myself warmed up as fast as possible. I had a hell of a time waking up this morning. It was pretty quick and easy to get up and get out. So I got up and I got out and I got in the sun and stuff. And I've got, part of the reason that I'm well lit is this. I've got a lamp, a bright LED on me right here, which is helping in the process as well. But then I came back in and man, I wanted nothing but to lay down. So I did a 20-minute yoga nidra protocol, which is it's not yoga, it's not moving around, it's just a breathing and mental exercises, and it's a non-sleep deep rest protocol, and lets you engage some serious restfulness in about 10 or 20 minutes, which is a tool that I give to you freely, and you should use if you ever have the need or even just the opportunity. All you need to do is go to YouTube, which I know that you use because you're on it right now. All you need to do is go to YouTube and go NSDR. Just search NSDR. The a few of them will come up, just dozens of them will come up. The one that I used had a few solid million views, and it was stellar. It was great. There's one that is read by Andrew Huberman, which is very, very nice as well. It takes about 10 minutes. And all of these, they produce rapid, deep nervous system relaxation and can give you the benefits of a significantly longer period of sleep in a matter of a few minutes. So if you have awakened in the middle of the night and you can't get back to sleep, performing one of these protocols can give you a lot of the benefits of that sleep that you're missing. Or if you wake up in the morning and you're not okay, and you know that you haven't slept effectively, doing one of these protocols with an alarm can help you get a little bit, claw back a little bit of the restfulness that you weren't able to accomplish. Similarly, if you were just had one of those nights where you were laying there in bed, not doing anything, first of all, remember always that, and this is just to help with the anxiety, remember always that laying in bed doing nothing is doing a large portion of the sleep rest that you need. But if you can't get that mental relaxation, doing one of these short protocols, these non-sleep deep rest protocols, is extremely valuable for turning restlessness into a little bit of restfulness. Wow, I needed this the last few nights. Yeah, so just NSDR, search that, or search or yoga nidra, which is the same idea. It autocorrected. Fucker. God, phones, man. Remove or yoga nidra. There. So that's placed into the thing so that you can just copy and paste those, and it's easy to grab. And again, there's one by Huberman with the thing. The one that I found most useful, Yoga Nidra NSDR. It was a 20-minute protocol. Where did it go? It used to be the first one that popped up, and now it's not the first one that pops up anymore. Weird. "20 minutes. Anyway, you can just find any. Oh, I found it. It's by Lizzie Hill. It's this one. It looks like this, actually. I hope you can see that. Let me see as that pops up. Yeah, it looks like that. It's the woman laying down with the blue shirt on, and it's got 9.4 million views. That one's pretty fucking useful. That one's some pretty good shit. Thanks, I noted it in my journal. Very good. Very, very, very good. I'm glad you have a journal too. That's a useful tool. Let me turn over and see if there are any interesting results in the poll. Hippity hop. Oh, yeah. Yep, there are a few. There are a couple posts up on here in different ways, in different places. Let me turn off that, and turn on, I guess, not that one. Is it this one? This one's for comments. That one, that'll do. Great. So we can bring this up for folks. Did you ever look up butterfly pea flower tea? Just the color of it interests me, and I don't drink tea. I will look it up right now. I don't do a lot of flower teas or specialty teas. I'm in tea for the caffeine and the... Okay, it's a blue tea. The flower petals are even whole flower of the Clitoria ternatia plant. So they're literally pea flowers. Okay, cool, which are purple blue. And that's very pretty. Well, what is the point of that? The answer is there's probably no point in it. If you mix it with gin, it turns blue gin to bright pink as you mix it. A fun chemical. Looks like something that if you drank it would either kill you or give you superpowers. I doubt it. It would probably just make your pee a little bit blue. It's something fun that you can do is if you eat a lot of wild blueberries, your shits are, well, they kind of turn black, but they turn blue basically. It's just something that you can do. Okay, so I move from one space to another, and this is something else that's important, is treating my spaces carefully and effectively. Some people asked about the being on the floor thing, or the floor setup that I have. That's my bed, dog. That's my living space. I live on the floor, except when I live right here on this stool. When I live on this wobble stool that I have to basically, I'm half standing, half leaning against this stool at all times. I live like that, and I live on the floor. Also, the plant it comes from is called Clitoria because of the shape of the petals. I figured. I expected as much. And, yeah, flowers are feminine. Well, I mean, actually, they're female parts, right? Like, they're actually feminine. It's not a joke. It's not like, haha, what an interesting coincidence that the female parts of humans and the female parts of flowers look similar. It's like, that's not a coincidence, man. Not coincidental at all. That's real deal juju. All right. Pour some of this delightful mocha matcha mate. There's actually no matcha in here. This is just a mocha mate tea. I never wanted to believe how a journal could help you. Did try it a few times in the past, but without success, so I shrugged it off. But recently, after quite a rough time, I tried again after hearing, I don't know what you're going to write there, but I understand exactly. And I'll just say this. I carry this with me everywhere. This is my wallet. In fact, I don't have a wallet. I don't carry a wallet. Now if I drove more frequently, or I interacted with my cards and cash and money more frequently, it might behoove me to have a wallet. But as it stands at present, this little notebook, let me turn this off so that I can just show it to you with full camera. There. This little notebook has everything that I need. So this is made by Rico. These are called Padfolios. You can just get one. They're cheap. Get a nice one so that you want to carry it with you. And frankly, I've gotten compliments on carrying this around, and there's something about carrying a little folio like this, a little toolkit around with you, that actually garners some level of respect. It's quite interesting, right? and even or to open it and take a note of something, people go like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" It's really quite interesting. But I keep my keys in here. I just tucked into one of the pockets. It's got locations for cards. I do wish it had a clear location for an ID, but I don't mind it too much. I keep my cards locked in there. Um, I do keep, at the moment, I keep a comb in here because I take this to the gym, and primarily this ends up being my gym journal and my workout log, but it's also anything else that I need to write down. I'd never know what to write in my journal. Why would you need to know what to write in a journal? The point isn't to know what you're going to write. The point is to write what you need to. Does that make sense? Like, you don't go in knowing what you need to write. You come out having written what you needed to. What you need to do is start. So try by writing a date down, right? Or even like the day of the week, Friday, and then start with either a thing that you know that you need to do, or one or two words of how you feel, or when you wake up, write in your journal a word or two about how you slept. That was one of the ways that actually started me on the path of journaling more frequently, was simply writing down how I slept or how I felt about how I slept, as prompted by an application that I have, and that I found quite useful. Hold on, there's tea all over my desk because tea drips and the process always gets stuff everywhere. So gotta be cleaning it up. Reminds me of a joke I saw about how if you carry a clipboard around, you could walk in anywhere and nobody would question you. I think it's absolutely true. Other things that I keep in here, I mean, these are literally just notepad things. I get these from Amazon. They cost like $10 for a pack of 6 or 8 or something. I get the Amazon Basics ones, the wide rule ones, and I write down whatever I want, and then I just can tear away the pages. So something that I might do is today at the gym, I'm doing it's squat OHP row. Squat OHP row. And for my pressing work, I want to do standardized press. And I want to shoot for performing a press once at 115 pounds, which is hard for me. For a squat, I want to do standard squat. And I'm gonna go low bar and heavy, and so we'll go for the full 3x5, and we're gonna shoot for, I think my weight last time was 255, so we're gonna go to 260 pounds. And then for my row, I'm not gonna barbell row. I'm going to use the rower, the Concept 2 rower. Use rower. And I went 2,000 meters last time. I went 2K meters. And so I'm going to go 2.5K meters. 2,500 meters, which is not much longer, but it's a little bit of progression. So combining some heavy squats, some heavy press, and some light but endurance-based rowing. And that sounds pretty good. I saw a vid ages ago that some people put on a high visibility jacket and carried a ladder between them, and they just walked into clubs, banks, private clubs, you name it. Nobody stopped them. Yeah, if you look like you know what you're doing, why is anybody going to stop you? If you just get a onesie like a mechanic or a plumber might have, with a little logo on it that says, "Hi, my name is Jim." You can buy these at like a Goodwill or a surplus store or something. Get a mechanic's onesie, carry a toolbox, and just walk into fucking literally anywhere. Literally anywhere. And if you really want to get people to be uncomfortable, or to let you through, all you have to do is make them uncomfortable a little bit. So then get two people to do the same thing, and have one of them yelling at like an older guy and a younger guy, and have the older guy like yelling at the younger guy and being a dick, right? In the kind of way where people are arguing at a Thanksgiving dinner and everybody's just like, because nobody wants to be a part of that. You do that in front of the front desk, and the person behind the front desk is going to go do the plumbing thing. I don't give a fuck about you. Yeah, I don't want to deal with your bullshit right now. You're infecting my mind with your anger. And that's exactly right. I think it's a myth. I don't think it's true necessarily, but I was talking to I was talking to some black folks who were talking about the instances where they get pulled over by police officers in our highly white territory, that I live in, highly white neighborhood, very high in police. By nature of the city that I live in, it's just a high police population. And so I was talking to some black folks about the fact that they get pulled over more frequently. And one of them had this idea, or not an idea, but something that he had been told by somebody else, which was if they pull up on beside you and they're coming for you and they're looking for a reason to pull you over, all you got to do is when they pull up, you just dig into your nose really hard. Just do the most disgusting fucking thing. And the cop is just going to nope and go right past you. And a couple of the others went, oh my God, I tried that. Very funny. Very funny as an idea. But the idea is right there. If you're doing something that people want to look away from, they'll look away from all of you. And this is an idea that's present in some film representations of spies and such, having an element of yourself that is disgusting or gross or weird or off-putting. If you choose what people focus on about you, what weird thing about you they focus on, then you draw their attention from all the other things about you. So if they remember you as the funny-looking guy with the big mole on his face, they will not recognize you if you walk into the room looking exactly the same, but you don't have the mole on your face, right? Because all they'll remember is the mole on the face. All they'll remember is the thing that's different. They won't remember all the other things. And so if you want to be effective at disguises, if you want to be an effective infiltrator of various environments, one of the things that you do is you peacock almost. You show off, but only certain aspects. And you show off those aspects in a way that makes them stand out and represent themselves directly in the minds of other people. And you take control of the way that they think of you. So they don't think of you as that nice guy at the place. They think of you as that nice guy at the place with a crooked eye or a broken nose, some feature that they can hone in on. That's very interesting because you can do that. You can do that in all sorts of ways. I do it with this, actually. It's sort of funny, but I very much do, and it is one of the things that people remember about me, and they don't remember the rest of me very well, which is pretty interesting. They remember the headband, and they remember the hair, and sometimes they'll remember certain elements of like clothing or dress. When I used to dress a little bit weirder because I hadn't figured my shit out, and I was dressing kind of femme because I hadn't figured my shit out, that sort of thing draws the attention, and they remember you as such, and that's quite interesting. I saw a girl at the gym the other day who had only seen me, like, we haven't seen each other in months and months, and I've changed dramatically in the time between, and she hasn't changed that much, but she's changed a little bit, but I've changed dramatically, and I went, hi, and she went, oh, it took like a solid few seconds to go click, 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 ding, and I'll tell you that it's because I've changed physically and dramatically, but also, like, I'm dressed different, and I'm in a different circumstance, and I'll bet that if I hadn't had the headband on, it would have been even harder, because these are elements of the persona that, like, that you wear around with you. I once saw somebody at the grocery store with an eye patch, only time I've seen that. Yeah, that'll do it, that kind of little thing, and you can recognize that accessorizing, if you do it effectively, can be a way to draw attention away from you. For example, if you have a day where you feel like, we all have days like this. I have days like this all the time because I haven't figured out my skin yet, and I'm working on it, and I'm getting there, and it's pretty amazing. But I'll have days where I'm all broken out, and I'm like, fuck, I hate everything. I don't want anybody to look at me. Part of the idea is that if you wear some, like, bright, colorful shirt or something, that'll just draw attention away from all the things that you don't want people to notice about you, and that could be really helpful. I don't know. It can be very useful to hide in plain sight, let's say. You can hide in plain sight more effectively than if you hide, because we're really good pattern recognition-wise at noticing people who are hiding, at noticing prey and predators, because predators hide too, right? And humans are both prey and predator. We're both. And so we look for prey, we look for things to hunt, and we look for things that might be hunting us constantly. And so when people are hiding their power level, we go on edge. It's like wolf in sheep's clothing, monster, uh-oh. And when people are hiding just to hide because they're scared, we notice that too. And the wolf inside you, the monster inside you, becomes awake and notices it. But you can utilize that and recognize that if people notice when you're hiding, the way to not be noticed is to hide in plain sight. It's exactly what happens in High School of the Dead. The way to walk through the dead is to actually just calmly walk forward as if nothing's going on. As if nothing is wrong. You walk forward calmly and the dead ignore you. Shaun of the Dead has the exact same idea too. If you want to walk against the flow of all the zombies, all you do is pretend to be a zombie, but you actually stay awake and you walk the other direction. It's exactly right. Yen says, accessories are mad important. Break it or make it when it comes to your image. See, that's the sort of thing we don't get to learn that shit. It's actually fucked up, Yen. It's fucked up. In some cultures, in Korean culture, men get to learn that shit. Men are taught how to take care of their skin. Men are taught how to dress and how to wear their hair and how to style themselves and how to accessorize and stuff. And it's why when the cultural overlap is happening and the cultural osmosis from Korea is happening, there are so many young women who are falling in love with all the Korean boys, is because they're fucking well put together and well accessorized and well dressed, and like they've also, most of them have been through the military, right? So they've had a little bit of training and they know how to control themselves a little bit, and they've got a little bit of discipline, and it's like, those are men. And there's a damn good reason why they're looking at the boys in certain other nations around them, the fat boys around them, and going, maybe not. Maybe I'm into these BTS boys instead, because they seem like they've got something else going on, right? Fascinating. Reminding me of my biggest mistake in life. On a night out at uni, I got approached by the most beautiful petite girl I have ever met, and she called my name and wanted to introduce me to her friends. And my mind drew a blank, and I couldn't remember her at all. She stormed off due to it, and I never saw her again. My biggest regret. Oh, darling. Oh, buddy. I forget people all the time. I forget people all the time. I met somebody the other day that I forgot, and it had bugged me for days and weeks, literally for about 2 weeks. Yep, for about 2 weeks. This girl has been running through my mind, very literally. Similarly, gorgeous young woman. Very, very slim, very slender, very attractive to me. Exceptionally attractive to me. What am I going to say? She's cute, like really cute. I talked to her a couple weeks ago, and I got her name. And I was doing the thing where I'm cycling her name through my mind over and over and imagining her face, right? So because that imagistic representation of name and face helps lock it into your brain effectively. If you want to remember someone's name, one of the ways that you can trick your brain into doing that is look at their face or look at an image of their face that you represent in your mind and say their name over and over. Literally, look them in the eyes and go, Martin, 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 Martin. Jimmy, 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 Jimmy. And it's very funny because I'll be introduced to a group of people, and I'll literally do it to each of them. I'll go, Johnson, 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 Bartholomew, 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 Jenny, 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 Jenny. And I'll look at each of them in the eye, and I'll just go, okay, that'll help me remember your name. I'm still going to forget it next time. All you have to do is remind me, and I'll do it again. And it works. It works great. And by work, I mean I fully forget their name the next time. But I was doing that. I was running her name through my mind. And it started with CH. It was Sha. There are a lot of Sha names. Cheyenne, Shavana, Shaniqua, Shazanavan, whatever the fuck you want. And her name was very close to one of those names, but slightly different. And that slight difference, I was running it through my head, and my friend goes something like, hey man, do you want to listen to this, like to a song? And I went, yeah, for sure. I haven't heard that band in a little while. Oh shit, I forgot her name, because it was just gone. And then for 2 weeks, I've been just going, God, I really hope that I see that girl. And every time I come to the gym, I'm sort of looking around, hoping to see that girl. Partly because she's lovely, and partly because it's like one of those tip of your tongue things where now it's a desperate need. Now it's like, uh-oh, I need that name and I need to know it now. I there's this song and it's playing through my mind and I can't remember what it is, or, it's really on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, I saw her, and I'm sure she thought I was out of my fucking gourd, which is correct. That is the correct assumption, is that this guy is out of his mind, and it is the assumption that I would like to portray and present of myself, because being normal and sane seems to be meaningless and stupid, and it seems to lead to being a zombie and dying. And I don't really want to be a zombie who dies. So insane it is then. Out of my mind is good. So I went up, and she was doing ab stuff, because she's always doing ab stuff. Very funny. And I got her to take her headphones on. She's like, "Hi, haven't seen you in." Yeah. Haven't seen you in. And I just looked her in the eye. I was like, "Your name, I need that shit. I need it. I've been trying. I know that it's sh something, and I don't remember the rest of it. And I really would like to remember your name." And she just had the most warm smile, because I was telling the truth. So genuinely. I didn't forget you, but I'd like to not forget any part of you. So that sucks that happened to you, Kikuri. No idea who she was or where I had met her before. So that's one of those things where I think if you had been capable of looking her in the eye and going, "Where do I know you from?" Speaking just pure, unadulterated truth to her, it might have gone differently. That blank drawing is really hard, and I'm really sorry that happened to you that way. Jav says, "I forget people often. I work as a cashier at a gas station, and one of my coworkers who's been working there for less time than I have, yet she knows the names of so many people who come in, and IDK how care. And different people's brains are different. So don't hate yourself for it. It's not something you can completely fix, but it is something that you can improve. Let's do this. Tools to remember names. First, recognize that names are difficult to remember. Yep, correct. They're actually difficult. They're arbitrary information like telephone numbers or anything else. Recognize that they are difficult and put effort into it. Use their name in conversation. Practice retrieving it. That is, quiz yourself, essentially. Use mnemonic devices. I'm not interested. Admit if you forget their name and ask them again to reconfirm. I do this all the time. Didn't help I was drunk at the time. Of course. I do this all the time at the gym, because I meet 2 or 3 new people every time I go to the gym. Or I try to. Sometimes I'll just interact with people that I already know. Sometimes I won't interact with anybody. It'll be kind of a slow day. Or I won't be in the mood to. But most of the time, when I'm at the gym, I'll interact with 2 or 3 people that I don't know. Interacted with and met a family last time I was at the gym. An older guy who I've seen pressing a bunch, and I didn't know his son who was there, who's 22. And it was funny. My roommate and I were standing, and we were doing certain, some of our warm down work, some of our mobility and flexibility routine. And they walk up to us, and it became very clear to me that the 22-year-old-ish son had been pushed by his, go, by his father to come and talk to us, because the father sort of walked up behind him and is, standing there being supportive. This is a big kid. He's taller than both of us. Big kid, sort of lumpy in his way of being, but, packing muscle on in the way that a young man can, because his father's training him relatively effectively, and his father's not a slouch when it comes to moving mass. By no means perfect, but not a slouch. And the guy comes up and goes, "Hey, how old are you guys? Do you guys do video games? You guys do the video games?" And it's such a silly moment, but I realized exactly what had happened was that his father was like, "Hey, you need to go ask those 2 boys who we talked to whether they play video games, whether they do any of the things that you like. You got to go make some friends, bud." Because this 22-year-old kid is living with his dad, and he probably doesn't have many friends because we're in the middle of the pandemic. And he meets a couple of guys at the gym who are like, "Hey, we're here doing a thing." And he comes over and he starts to talk to us about games. Perfect. So we talk to them, right? I don't remember their fucking names at all. I remember one of them's name is Derek. It might be the dad, it might be the son. I don't fucking remember. But I'll see him next time, and I'll walk up to them and I'll go, "Is it Derek?" And that'll confirm it because I'll have retrieved it. And then I'll look at the son and I'll go, "Ooh, buddy, I don't remember your name. I fully don't remember it. I'm T," and I'll often introduce myself as T because it is representative of myself more than my real name is. "I'm T, and you are great." And I'll look him right in the eye and I'll go, Jimothy, right? Whatever it is, his name is, and I'll fucking remember it the next time. And I'll remember that lovely girl's name too, and I'll never forget it. Never once, because I spent 2 weeks wanting it. I spent 2 weeks wanting her name, and I finally got it. And she had to go right after, right? But gosh, I was like, oh my god, I got her name. I finally got her name again. That's amazing. So next time I see her, I promised her that I was going to teach her how to deadlift. So next time I see her, I'm going to be like, hey, when are you going to let me teach you how to deadlift? And then we'll see how that goes. And if it goes... Oh yeah, I'm sure plenty of you remember my real name. I don't care. We'll see how it goes, or if it goes, and it might not. But if it goes, then I'm going to get that number too. And I might try to memorize that shit. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to memorize a phone number. What a waste of time. But yeah, I'd really like to know that person. And I'd really like to know that person. I feel it sounds belittling to say what was your name again to someone, how to ask for someone's name again tactfully. Simply admitting the fault in yourself is the way. It's not belittling, it's you belittle yourself. You self-deprecate. So what you say is, you did everything right. I'm a fool who can't remember names. I'm so sorry. I'd really like to know your name. And I'll try my best to remember it. And I also do this whenever I ask for their names in the first place, or they give me their names, I'll say something along the lines of, jokingly, like, I'll really try to remember it, I promise, but I will fail because I'm imperfect. So don't be surprised when I come and ask you for your name again next time I see you. And I'll say something like that, and usually that breaks the tension because they're like, oh man, I'm terrible with names, is usually the response that I get because... Secret side note, unless somebody's really actively trained themselves to be good at remembering names, people are really bad at remembering names. And so making it a mutualistic thing is really great. And then when you walk up to them and you go, hey, so great to see you again. I'm so sorry. I'm a fool. I'm such a dummy. You told me your name and I'd really like to remember it. What was it again? And they'll go, oh, my name is Jezebel, right? Your name was, I'm so sorry. Because then you open the floor for them to be that mutual humility to happen and that mutual self-deprecation to happen. And by being vulnerable, you invite vulnerability. You say, I'm a vulnerable fool who forgot your name. And I'm not walking around being like, hey, dude, Mr. Bro, Mr. Friend, whose name I totally don't remember, but I'm pretending that I actually care about you. Bro, you know? I don't think I've ever met a Jezebel. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever met a Jezebel either. It's just I come up with names like that. And I always start with J. I don't know why. Jacob, Jonathan, Jimmy, Jimothy, Jezebel, Bartholomew. I come up with names like that. And usually the names that pop into my head are traditional English names. It's probably because when I was quite young, I read through all of Winston Churchill's History of the English-Speaking Peoples, and there are lots of fucking English names. Richards and Georges and Jonathans and, oh man. Helps in England, so many people have such bog standard names, but it can be a problem. That's a funny thing. You'd think that standard names would be harder to remember or easier in some way. I don't fucking know. It's like both. It's like complicated or weird names are partly harder. I don't know. Sounds like you need that JoJo fix. That Jonathan Joestar. Yeah, man. JoJo's is fucking rad, sick, nasty goop. Some good sauce, man. Some really good sauce. I fucking love Araki's art. I've been looking at a bunch of it. 5 of us with the same name. The teacher had to call us all by surnames. Was the name Jacob? I've got a friend named Jacob who has a thing about other Jacobs, because there are just so many of them. Which is really funny, because Jacob is not a good name to name your child. I mean, Jacob is Israel, right? Historically, where the name results from, Jacob is Israel. And Jacob also means usurper. It's literally correct, because he usurps his brother in the stories. But that's the name that is given to so many young men. And it's part of my name. It's part of my name. Jacob is built into my name, which is an interesting one. Did you ever see the Josh Wars meme? Glad I'm not a Josh. No, I haven't seen the Josh Wars meme, but I can imagine. I think there can only be one Highlander style. You know, I buy that. In my birth year, there are so many Matthews. I wonder why that is for your particular birth year. Um, but I think remembering names helps demonstrate to other people that you care about them. Ah, mass message for all Joshes to fight for the name of Josh. I see. Very cool. Much better at figuring stuff out. Very bad at memorization. I can't remember arbitrary stuff like that. Much better at figuring stuff out, but when there's no way to parse it, I hate that. I got tools for you, Jav. Jav, I got tools for you. Literally was watching something related to this just today, and it's gonna be Huberman again. You know it is. When it comes to neuroscience and free sources for neuroscience, like I don't know anybody who's as useful right now for most things as Hubie Boy. Huberman memory, because there's a full fucking video on memory. Science-based tools for memory, as well as for focus and stuff. So let me just do @Jav there. Watch that. 2 hours of your life to fix a portion of your life forever. Make the sacrifice. Seriously. You do it in the background and do another task while you're doing it. But make the sacrifice of 2 hours in order to potentially fix everything forever. Super, super worth it. Let me turn my attention over to the quest. So I'll give the basis for the quest idea again. I will never find JoJo's art appealing due to same face syndrome after part 4. You have no taste, Benjamin. Zero taste. And I know de gustibus non est disputandum, but that's some stupid shit. That's some stupid shit. They don't have same face at all, man. First off, everyone has same face. Look at faces. They're pretty the same. Second, the JoJo's characters don't look anything like each other. But if you think that they do, fine, fair enough. Even still, who cares? Look at the fucking art, man. Holy shit. Holy shit. Okay. The quest thing was because I went on a quest. And the quest was we went to a cool place where I had been before, where I thought there might be treasure. And by treasure, I mean a nice date location and a nice place to have lunch and a unique experience and a novel experience for some of my friends. This is a solid Chinese seafood restaurant that does dim sum, and they'd never had dim sum before, which again is like, it's like a buffet, but they bring the buffet around on carts and they drop it off on your table, and it's just a wash of different kinds of food, and shrimp dumplings and pork dumplings and all sorts of fucking things. Must resist posting more art videos to T. I've already sent him down too many rabbit holes over the last week. Feel free anyway. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. Rabbit holes be good. I didn't plan my day very well today, so I actually wrote out here. Nope, not there. Where's the one that I actually wrote out? Holy shit. Here, I wrote out my week for today. So I wrote Monday, Cyberpunk catch-up, question mark? OVA, question mark? Movie, question mark? Edit HSOTD, question mark? Because I recorded 5 episodes of High School of the Dead yesterday. Because I'm an idiot. Because I wanted to do it. And then, you know, showers, breakfast, gym day, up early, all that stuff I've got planned out. But what I'm actually going to record on the Monday, fuck, I don't know. So send me down a rabbit hole. I don't give a fuck. Tuesday, JoJo back. That's the plan for Tuesday. Somebody asked a little bit earlier, do you know what you're going to do to replace Poon Poon? Yes, it's JoJo's. We've been waiting for more JoJo's for the whole time. I'm going to watch through JoJo's, and then I'm going to read through JoJo's, and we're going to watch, read, all the way through JoJo's. Wednesday's Mushoku, Thursday's Gundam, Friday's Cyberpunk. That's that. High School of the Dead is rad? I think so. There is a little same face in part 8, but aside from that, the art is incredible and has gotten so much better. Yeah, Look, I live in the world. I've seen some art from JoJo's beyond the JoJo's that I know. And while I have no context or knowledge of most of it, although some things have been spoiled, because again, I live in the world. Oh, I love Two Steps from Hell. I love Two Steps from Hell significantly. Let me check. This is animation, isn't it? Okay, this is too much for me at the moment. Yeah, this is a rabbit hole that I don't want to go down. Yeah, obviously, I'm looking at it. It's obviously spectacular. It's really quite incredible. And I super do not want to look at this because I can only process so many hard things in a day. And that's not the one that I want to process today. However, I will save it for later, 100%, Kikori. In fact, I will save it for later, for later. Hey, wait, hold on. There's a service. Hold on. People use this shit all the time. How the fuck does it work? I should be using it. I should be using it monthly or weekly or something. Let me save this for save for later. Watch later. There's a service where people can pay to make you watch a particular video. Service audience pays to show video. To show creator a meme. Fuck, I have no I have no idea. Hold on, let me I've seen Ludwig use it repeatedly. Let me see if I can steal this thing from him. Because it's a really simple idea. I think this one. Maybe this one. There we go. Media share. Is it literally just media share? Media share. Okay. Media share. What is media share? Oh, it's in Streamlabs. Media share suite. That's not it. Send video or songs when they tip you. Streamlabs desktop widgets, media share. But I don't use Streamlabs OBS. Fuck, do I have to use Streamlabs OBS? I don't want to use Streamlabs. Yes, the one with the cues. Uh-huh. Media share. OBS. Not stream. Does OBS have media share? Media share is an OBS widget. Boost stream engagement. Send songs or videos. Right. You'll need a Streamlabs account. Okay, well, I'm going to set up a Streamlabs account. Streamlabs versus OBS. What is the deal here? Okay. Well, I guess I'm downloading Streamlabs. To try that shit. Download. Streamlabs desktop. Shut up. All right. See, I don't want to use Streamlabs OBS because I'm really quite used to the bare bones of real OBS. And I actually need the programming of it. And the options and stuff. But I'll set up Streamlabs OBS anyway. And just see what we've got. I have no idea what an OBS even is. Open Broadcasting... service? Open Broadcaster Software. There you go. That's what OBS is. How do you record both webcam and screen during reactions? And do you have a problem with your screen not saving after recording? No, I use OBS. Usually I record two separate streams. Two separate screens. So one for me and one for the camera. So that I've got redundancy. And I record two audio tracks for each of them. So I record the microphone audio track and the desktop audio track for each of them. And that allows me to mix and mux as I please. I record the screen directly via OBS. So when I have this sort of thing up where it's a window capture, that's within the same OBS instance. I'm capturing the window, and that means that it's hard-lined into the video service. So if I was recording this, that would be part of the video. Usually I have two separate windows. So what I record is this just this as this, and then separately I record the video, and then I push them together. And that's how I can cut it out for the timer portions and stuff like that, or leave it back in when we're scrolling through footage and to show you different things or whatever in editing. Now for streaming, it has to all come from one source, so it's a little bit different. All right, agree to Streamlabs thing, install Streamlabs OBS. Very well. Gotta go. See you later. Bye, Jav. See you later. Peace, peace. Much love. All right, we're setting up Microsoft Visual C++ redistributable, blah. All of the background and framing and stuff for Streamlabs. You know, it might be helpful if Streamlabs OBS is effective for streaming, using that for streaming, and then using OBS for... Were there any consequences from the other day's stream being blocked? Just that it got blocked. That's all. It just got blocked. Okay, I'm running Streamlabs. It's coming up. This might mess with the video source. We'll see. How do you plan to use Streamlabs desktop? Live streaming. I want to live stream. I may also want to record my live streams. Continue. Streaming account. We'll go with YouTube. And we'll sign in with Tiabu. Talks too much. T talks too much. Bam. Bam. View, edit, allow. Import from OBS. Oh, let me do this. File, settings. Here, export OBS settings. Profile menu, export. Scene collection, export. OBS stuff there. And then here. What? Here, I'm going to skip. We're going with start, add one guest, multi-stream off, Streamlabs desktop, alerts and widgets, free overlays and themes, fair, not all of them. Limited free apps, no fee tipping, so no tip page, great. 1 gigabyte of storage, don't care. A basic chatbot, basic features. Okay, current plan, starter plan, that's fine. I've got a mini feed, that's cool. Got scenes, manage scene collections, import from OBS. Come on. Oh, we're flickering. We're flickering. Oh, what just happened? Why is the Streamlabs working the way that it's working? I don't want these themes. I don't care about any of these. Fuck these. Performance window. No, the main window. Oh, I've got it. All right, it's all up. There you go. Scene up here. And if I do cam is on. Yep, cam is on. Scene's all proper. Give me a sec, boys. I'm gonna hop off for a moment. and then I'll be literally right back in. Gotta love setting up new software. There can only be one OBS, and it decapitates the current one. Truly, there can only be one linked to the cameras, because it has to provision the camera sources. But what I can do is I can close OBS and stop streaming, and then start streaming off of Streamlabs OBS right away. So I'm going to do that and just test it. Stop streaming,